Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like a lot of mercenaries are popping up in Ukraine on both sides. And to be fair, I don't know who's who, what's what, because both sides claim that they captured Wagner Group mercenaries. The other ones, no, we captured foreign fighters that are mercenaries in the Ukrainian army or whatever other legions, international legions, and other names of certain groups that fight over there. The problem is no side will admit that or confirm that, yes, man, that was one of our mercenary. How you can kill him. No, none of them is going to do that. So, and on the other hand, none of them will have to provide much evidence that, or whatever evidence they provide, doesn't necessarily have to be accurate. They will say that they were good husbands, parents, members of the community, and they couldn't possibly be mercenaries. They might have been ex-military, ex this, ex that, but then they went over there to fight in Ukraine for, a big heart and love of, I don't know, freedom and Ukraine, or the other side for the motherland and who knows what else. Nevertheless, it was an Sukhoi 25 that was hit by Ukrainian forces. A day ago or 2 days ago, I saw a video as well of the captured pilot. So the pilot was able to eject the cockpit and survive. So there's a video with, I don't know if this is the guy or is not a guy, it's just what they said. This guy is the pilot and he was limping and in his underwear and blindfolded. So here we have an article from Ukrainska Pravda from June 20th, 2022, and this is the title: Captured Russian pilot turns out to be Wagner mercenary. So during the interrogation of a Russian pilot captured by Ukrainian forces on 18th of June, the pilot revealed that he was a mercenary working for the Wagner private military company and that he has been paid a wage of 200,000 rubles, approximately $3,500 a month. I told you the guys from Azovstal captured Ukrainian forces, the guys who surrendered. I know we're not supposed to say surrender, we're supposed to say use a different euphemism that would show more, I don't know, more heroism or something. Nevertheless, I told you that those guys will be interviewed, and after they get interviewed, they will confess anything the capturers or the Russians in this case will want them to confess. And they will not be killed. They will be labeled as mercenaries for now. They will not be killed because they have to be brought back in front of the cameras over and over and over when they have to justify certain crimes that probably they didn't commit. But that's the way it goes. So this guy confessed. He said, well, you know what? I'm a Wagner Group guy and I'm paid this much and now you can kill me, basically. How do you think this interrogation took place? And that's standard procedure. Don't I'm not complaining about it. I'm just reporting on it. And all right, so it says here the captured pilot Andrei Fedorchuk. No, I'm sorry, that would sound Ukrainian. No, it's Fedorchukov. It's half Ukrainian, half Russian, because usually the names that the last names that end in Chuk are Ukrainian, and the ones that end in Ov are Russian. So we have a Fedorchukov. It's a combination between the two. A major in the Russian Air Forces. He admitted to working for the Wagner private military company and that he was being paid 205,000 rubles a month. I have to confess, not confess, but I do not, I don't know. This is the thing. I do not know what equipment Wagner Group uses. And I don't know how much access they have to certain equipment. But I would be, that's my personal assessment. By trying to use logic and the rules and regulations, laws and other stuff, I do not think that a private mercenary, if you want, a contractor, military contractor group in Russia will own airplanes. I'm 99% sure that the Russian army would not allow that. That's one thing. The other one, because if you can't do that, you can take an airplane and go and shoot the Kremlin, right? No, I'm not. That's one thing. The other thing might be this. He might be a Wagner Group guy, paid by Wagner Group, but then employed by the Russian army to use their planes. I know that Wagner Group does not have its own plane. It cannot have its own plane. I don't think the Russians would allow that unless it's incorporated in the U.S. In the U.S., maybe in the Russian army, like you have the Azov battalion incorporated in the Ukrainian National Guard, and they fight under the Ukrainian military's orders and equipment and so on. Unless that's, but then you're not mercenary anymore, or are you? So that's why it's, for me, it's not very convincing. Imagine, for instance, Blackwater, which is the American, you call it a private military, private contractor. You don't call it mercenary group because it's our boys. With what Mark Prince or whatever his name is, the guy who founded it. He's from Michigan, or at least functions from Michigan. So these guys, imagine that they would have access to planes. I do not know, and I don't think so. I don't think that they have access to fighter jets. I'm 99.9% certain they do not have access to American fighter jets or their own fighter jet allowed to function in, but as I said, I do not know, but I am very, very, very skeptical about this. And I'm not saying this to defend anybody. It's just a logical, questioning. I don't think so. I don't think. But nevertheless, let's go with the story. And I'm a quote from Butusov. During the interrogation, Fedor Chukov has that the target of his attack was a stronghold of the armed forces of Ukraine. Previously, he had conducted bombing operation on Ukrainian cities. Even worse, right? Fedor Chukov, Fedor Chukov hopes for a prisoner exchange, though he understands that because he is a mercenary, he might not be party to a prisoner exchange agreement and might therefore be subject to punishment for his crime. These guys are trying to up this guy as a mercenary so they can do it with the Americans, exchange with the American mercenaries, if you want to call them that way. The Russians call them that way, but as I said, what's the proof? I don't know. No proof, but as I said, who needs proof nowadays with this in a war? It says it's interesting to know that the Russian aircraft has significant navigation issues. Fedor Chukov had with him a Garmin navigator and a smartphone with the Pronebo app installed on it in order to have more precise navigation than that afforded by the navigation devices on board the Russian Air Force aircraft. Earlier, so what? It was a private? I don't believe it was a private. I don't believe that. I don't believe they are allowed to have something like that because they can be a switch and you have what, 5, 6, 7 airplanes flying low going and shoot Kremlin or something. I don't think so. Anyway, on June 18, the 72nd Separate Mechanized Brigade named blah blah blah. They used the Iglamen portable air defense system Manpads to shoot down a Russian Su-25 Sukhoi-25 plane, which hit the ground louder and clear. The pilot of the downed Russian Sukhoi-25 aircraft ejected and has been taken prisoner. So this is the guy. This is the guy, and they say it's the Wagner Group because he said so. Okay, well, if he's so sincere, good. If he's a mercenary, he should be punished as a mercenary. What can I tell you? But, in this kind of situations, I doubt that this is... when you're in that situation, you say anything that you know, and you say everything that you don't know. You say whatever they want you to say. And that works on both sides. That's why I'm saying that the guys that are right now in Moscow, in that detention center, the commanders of the Azov-style plans, the Azov regiment or battalion, they will tell anything the Russians tell them to. And they don't have to even tell them because they know what the Russians want to hear. All right. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.